Hello, fellow fragrance lovers, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I have succumbed to the pressure. I have given in to the cliched videos that I was just complaining about in a couple videos ago. But here we are. I want to give the people what they want. And right now, it seems like what everyone is looking for, the videos about spring perfumes. So today, I am bringing you my spring perfume picks, but I'm putting my Limelight last spin on it. So as you may know, I was ranting about this a little bit, the whole, clickbaity topics or the same overused recycled topics. And I'm just very frustrated because I feel like being creative doesn't necessarily help your channel. And I was complaining in a comment on one of Kristen from Beauty Meow's videos. I love her. You definitely have to check out her channel. And she actually addressed my rant that I had put in one of her videos in a recent video. And she had a really good take on it and really good advice, which is like, yes, you do have to give the people what they want and do the top 10 lists and do the spring perfumes and those type of things. But you can incorporate your own personality into it, and you can do different picks, more obscure picks. So I think that is great advice, and that is really what I am doing. So am I going to have perfumes that like no one has ever talked about? Like, no, but some of them, I guarantee you, I'm going to give you my Limelight last guarantee that I am the only one putting these in, a spring perfume. You're probably not going to see some of these in other lists. I do have a few. Hidden gems, I would call them, right? So before we go any further, if you are new here, welcome. I am Limelight Lass, and I'm all about perfume here for the most part. I veer off into beauty and some other things once in a while, but mostly perfumes. And I just love perfumes that get you noticed, that put you in the spotlight. And I also love perfumes that are a little more subtle. It depends. So if you want to hear all about my picks for this spring of 2022, keep watching. I know there are a lot of these out there already. I'm a little late to the party, even though it's not technically officially spring yet, but I just felt like doing this any earlier would be really premature because it literally snowed here a couple days ago. I'm in the Philly suburbs and it was snowing. So I didn't really feel like making a spring video when it was snowing. But now today it's beautiful. It's warm. It's supposed to be warm for the rest of the week. Warm as in like 60s and 70s, nothing crazy, but it's a welcome change from our horrible winters. So just to give you a preview of the vibe of these, I'm seeing a lot of the same notes coming up as I was grabbing these, and it is a little bit random. I just kind of went through my extensive collection. Some of them that I was thinking of, I cannot find. I have no idea where they are. So maybe at the end, I'll just tell you what they were. I don't even know how many I have because I kept tweaking the list, but there's a lot here. There's definitely at least 15. So I'm going to go quickly. I'm not going to give all of the notes or anything, just some of them so you know the vibe, but I'll preface by saying the vibe of most of these is not super floral like your typical spring perfume lists. I have a lot of, again, I want to be true to myself. So I do have a lot of kind of musky florals, some are a little bit fruity, but they are still keeping true to what I like, which is not really overly sweet scents normally, although I've been getting into gourmands and there's a little bit of this in here. But I do like more kind of unisex fragrances or even a little more masculine leaning fragrances. There's nothing super masculine here today, but just so you know, these aren't the typical sweet, girly, flowery spring perfumes. I have a little something different for you, hopefully. And hopefully maybe you'll find a hidden gem. And I have a mix of all different things. I have some celebrity perfumes even, some hidden gem, very inexpensive perfumes, and I have some designer fragrances. So let's take it away. I don't want this video to be, 2 hours long. So let me get right to it. So if you've been with me since the beginning, and it's been almost a year, so springtime last year is when I started my channel. I mentioned this a lot in the beginning, and that is Chanel No. 5 L'Eau. This to me is the quintessential spring perfume. It is so classy, elegant. Of course, it has that aldehydic floral situation that the original number 5 has, but it's a lot more crisp. It's more citrusy. You have some jasmine in there, a little bit musky, but it's overall just a more sheer, younger, fresher take on Chanel number 5, and I love it. One thing I should mention too is like these fragrances to me are very specific to spring. I do not really wear this any other time except spring. I think spring fragrances too, I forgot to mention this in the beginning, are probably the most specific in the different season categories of fragrances, because like, can you wear these in the summer? Of course, or you can wear them anytime you want, but I feel like there's just a certain aspect to spring perfumes that is unique. And this to me is a very uniquely springtime perfume. It's really, really beautiful. So that is Chanel number 5. Oh, light, gorgeous. I can't get enough. Next up, I mentioned this in my video about, if I like my perfumes from my 20s still, and I do still like this one. And this is Stella by Stella McCartney. I just have this little roller ball. I love this. I've loved this since it came out in the early 2000s. This is it's a rose peony musk. I guess amber as well. Fragrance. A lot of rose and peony, but it's not strictly rose. I do not like overtly floral, singular note floral. I like a little something, something, a little depth with my florals, and that's what this gives you. It is my favorite rose-based perfume because it's a musky rose, but it's also clean, but it's not soapy clean. And let me tell you, everyone raves about Delina, and Delina is nice. Delina is super expensive, as you know. I will take this little cheapie, because it is a cheapie now when you buy it, usually through a gray market site or whatnot. I will take this over Delina any day as far as rose fragrances go. It's just really, really nice. And to me, it's very springy. So that is Stella by Stella McCartney. I have so many perfumes here. I don't even know how I'm going to handle this situation, but let's keep moving. Okay, this one is fairly new to my collection. And first off, the bottle is, this is as springtime as you can possibly get. And the box. And this is LolitaLand by Lolita Lempicka. And this is kind of different for me. And this does not smell like anything else I have in my collection. This is a very unique fragrance. So this has an amazing Bellini note. So if you like the Bellini drink, at brunch, it has that. A lot of citrus, vanilla, licorice, has some florals. This is a spring gourmand. That's how I would categorize this. A spring gourmand. It truly is very citrusy, but sweet. And, it has a depth to it. And again, super springy packaging. And it's very, very unique. So this is a perfect Limelight Lass fragrance. As you can see, I already have a, pretty good dent in it. I've only had it for maybe 2 months. And so that is LolitaLand by Lolita Lempicka. All right. This next one is my scent of the day, and I have not been able to stop smelling myself. I've only worn this a few times so far, but oh man, it is a good one. And this is Narciso Rodriguez Poudree. Poudree. I don't know. I don't speak French, but so I love Narciso Rodriguez fragrances. I have most of them, but this one, oh my gosh, this to me is so springy because another aspect to a lot of these fragrances is a lot of them have a powdery aspect. And this is, obviously it's called Poudree, so it's super powdery, But this isn't like a baby powder. It is more of a, it's musky, obviously. It's musky. It has rose. It's got vetiver, cedar. So it's powdery, but sexy powdery. And it just draws you in. And for being a soft fragrance, it's also a beast. And I know that sounds very contradictory, but it's a soft beast of a fragrance because you can smell this. It's just so lovely. And again, you know, not that the packaging has everything to do with the season, but I think this peachy, pale, creamy peachy color is very springy. It's just really beautiful. And if you just want to smell, it's like clean, musky, powdery. Oh, it's so great. So that is Narciso Poudree by Narciso Rodriguez. All right, next. I know this is one that is talked about quite a bit, and I think it's very springy. And this is Lalique Amethyst. And this one, first off the bottle, again, just, it seems springy. So this has a very strong opening of blackcurrant and blackberry. But it has florals, it has vanilla, and it has this, I guess it's a blackcurrant, but there's something very green in it. And it has something that reminds me of damp earth in the springtime. Like being outside in the damp, I don't know, it's like a damp forest or damp woods with flowers and that blackberry blackcurrant note. This also very unique, very different. So if you like berry fragrances, but you don't want it to be, this is not a gourmand. It's not sweet enough. I mean, it's sweet, but it's tart. And that green, earthy aspect to it just keeps it very grounded. It's really nice. It's also fairly inexpensive. So it's a good one. And to me, it just screams spring. So that is Lalique Amethyst. Moving right along. So I've got quite a few more of these. All right, here's a little hidden gem / celeb fragrance. I really never see anyone talk about this. And it's funny because this is a new bottle that I got of this, but I got it when it first came out back in, I feel like it was 2008, maybe around that time. But this is Covet by SJP, Sarah Jessica Parker. I love SJP fragrances. And this one is so unusual. Yeah, so this one is this very unique combination. It's got lemon and lavender, but it also has dark chocolate. I know that sounds really weird. And what makes it springy to me is there's Lily of the Valley. And I think this also has vetiver in it, but I don't know. There's just something, again, kind of earthy, musky, florally, but the lemon, lavender, chocolate triad there is just like nothing else that I have. This lasts a really long time too. And it's just, this is one you really do have to smell. I love the packaging on this. Of course, like this to me is very springy. Again, not that that's the whole situation why I think of, it's springy, but it definitely helps. But you can get this, I think, for about $25 for the big one, for the 100 ml. And this is unique. This is a perfume that probably not a lot of people in your world have. So if you want to smell different, stand out. Again, I don't think this is for everyone, but to me, very unique. So that is Covet by SJP. Moving right along. Okay, here's another one that I talked about a lot, I feel like, last year. And this is YSL's Mon Paris, the Intensément version. And again, one of my favorite bottles because, I mean, look how darn cute that is. This is, again, so springy and floral, but my kind of floral because it does have that muskiness to it. This has raspberry, black currant, a lot of rose, patchouli. It's not a harsh patchouli though. Yeah, it's just a very rosy. It's a rosy berry, dark fruit kind of fragrance, but musky as well. And it's just really nice. This is very, very classy, very versatile because I feel like you can wear this day or night. And again, that bottle, so nice. So that is YSL Mon Paris Intensément. So good. I do like the original Mon Paris. I mean, it's okay, but I like this one so much more. All right, here is one I recently discovered. And again, how springy is this bottle? So this is Reminiscence, and this is the perfume Heliotrope. And this has gotten a little bit of buzz. Now, I first found out about this through Sebastian, perfume guy. I love him. But then Sarah Mays just got this as well, if you watch her channel. And she's obsessed with it as well. But this is this like almond. It's obviously, it has heliotrope in it, but it's also a very heavy almond tonka. So this is I would say this is a spring gourmand. And it definitely has a muskiness to it as well. So the reason why I put this in spring is it reminds me of those pastel candy almonds that you see like at Easter time, right? It has that vibe to it. It is a very sweet, powdery almond, tonka, musky. It's just really, really unique. And I think it's perfect for springtime. But if you want something that doesn't smell flowery, not your stereotypical spring fragrance, and on a vanity for spring, this looks absolutely gorgeous. So that is Reminiscence Heliotrope. Next up, I just recently did a review of this one. It's brand new. This is the new Estée Lauder Beautiful Magnolia Intense. I like this intense version way more than the original. Not that there's anything wrong with the original, and that would be lovely for spring as well. But this one, it's just different. It has this cardamom opening, which is very unique. It's got some citrus. It's got iris. What else is in here? I think there's some vetiver in here as well. So it's floral, but again, has a little extra something, something. Some of those more typical notes that I go for, more masculine notes. But it works. And this dries down lipsticky, powdery. And it's just a really nice choice for spring. I think this was released at the perfect time. Kudos to Estée Lauder for actually releasing a fragrance at the appropriate time, the appropriate season, because I hate when they don't do that. So that is Beautiful Magnolia Intense. If you want to know more about this one, I do have a dedicated video for it. Actually, I do for several of these fragrances. So check them out. All right, this one is a really good spring date night fragrance, and it is Scandal by Night from Jean Paul Gaultier. And I mean, who doesn't love the packaging of Scandal? I mean, I know there's people out there who think it's a little bit tacky to have these legs, but I like the legs. So, of course, the main aspect of Scandal fragrances, because there are several flankers, is the honey. I mean, this is a honey bomb, but it doesn't bother me. It's not cloying to me. This does have a little bit of citrus. It has cherry and it has a white musk in it. Now this also, it does have tuberose, and you know how I feel about tuberose. It is just my least favorite note, pretty much. But you know what? It doesn't bother me in this. It's more of a sweet bubblegummy tuberose. But I think this is really nice for, you know, a spring, as I said, spring date night. You're going to smell super sweet, sexy, honey-ish. And that cherry just makes it a little more flirty, a little more fun, a little more springtime. So that is Scandal by Night by Jean Paul Gaultier. This lasts forever as well. So if you are concerned with longevity, I think you're going to be good. Okay, here is another celebrity scent, and this is by Britney Spears. This is Fantasy, what's this called? Intimate Edition. Fantasy Intimate Edition. Again, this bottle, very springy to me. So I'm not a huge fan of the original Fantasy. I mean, it's okay. But this one is, I think this has a little bit of lychee in it, but this is a little more citrusy. It's still musky. This one is a really good bedtime fragrance or just a hanging around the house fragrance for spring. It manages to be fresh and sweet and musky, but not too much of any of those. So I'm going to spray it. I like this one so much. It's very pleasant, and for being so light, it does stick around, and it's just a really pretty bottle. And I enjoy it. For a very inexpensive celebrity fragrance, it smells really good. So that is Britney Spears Fantasy Intimate Edition. Go Britney. I do love her. All right, next up, sorry, I'm like bending. I'm being sorry. Okay, so next up is another one that I discovered last spring when it first came out, and this is YSL Libre, the Eau de Toilette. And I just have a small spray of this, but you can see I used it. Oh, I love this. So, strange thing. I'm not the biggest fan of the original Libre. It's okay, but it's not my favorite. However, I love the intense version of Libre, and I love this EDT, even though this gets some hate. I'm not really sure why. So this has that classic lavender vanilla combination. That is the signature DNA of Libre. But this has this orange and orange blossom addition to it. And also jasmine tea, which is very interesting to me. It is clean, it's fresher, and it's funny because I don't like clean or fresh fragrances. This is really as fresh as I will get, but because it has that vanilla and lavender, it's very grounding, and it's still deep enough, you know, to be a Limelight Last fragrance. So if you like orange blossom with that lavender and vanilla, I think you're going to like this. And this also lasts really well on me. I know some other people have said this didn't have great performance, but on me, it performs really well. So that is YSL Libre Eau de Toilette. Very springy to me. Very, very springy. Okay, another one that I feel like came out a little late because it came out at the end of the summer, but to me, this is a spring fragrance. So I'm really excited to wear this for spring because I didn't really wear it much because I feel like, again, they released this at completely the wrong time. But this is Lancôme's Idôle Aura. And I love this bottle. It's so, 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 so pretty. So this is just a salty rose, vanilla, musky fragrance. I mean, I think those are all the notes. It has a salt note, but not as strong as the salt note in like Olympia. So it's not over the top salty. You definitely get the vanilla, but it's a springy vanilla. It's not like a deep, woodsy, wintertime type of vanilla. And because it has the rose and the jasmine in it, it makes it springy and a little touch of that musk. So I'm really looking forward to trying this out in spring weather because I didn't have that opportunity last year because it wasn't out yet. So that is Lancôme Idôle Aura, and really beautiful bottle there. Okay, I also talked about this one a lot last year. This is my favorite Twilly flanker, and this is Twilly d'Hermès Au Poivron. Again, French. I love this fragrance so much, and it is a fairly simple profile. This one is just pink pepper, rose, and patchouli. I mean, it's got 3 notes. I'm sure it has more than that, but that's what they market it as having. So it has the rose, but again, I like a little different spin. The pink pepper just gives this a little something different. And the patchouli, of course, I love. So you notice a lot of these fragrances, even though they're spring, I'm putting them as spring fragrances, they have some patchouli. So they're a little bit deeper, a little more unisex. This is just, I crave this just even smelling this. I said this in a video before, you know, sometimes I'll just walk past it on like my dresser and just have to sniff it because it's really unique. There aren't many fragrances that smell like this. I also think the packaging is just really cute. And I think that's very springy as well. The little bow there. But if you like that peppery rose combination, I think you'll like this. So this is Twilly d'Hermès Au Poivron. Oh my gosh, I promise there's a few more. I mean, but I'll keep it going. I'll keep it going here. Right. Next, I'm going to go for this amazing Aqua Allegoria fragrance, and that is Ginger Picante. I think I might have put this in a summer video last year just because I didn't get it until I think summer or maybe late spring. But Ginger Picante's got the bergamot, it's got lemon, obviously. It's obviously got ginger, but it's also got some pepper and some white musk. So you'll notice there's some white musks in a lot of these fragrances. This is like a ginger bomb. I mean, it's very gingery, lemony ginger, but it's got a little something extra to it again, and it's unique, and you don't smell this a lot on people. And for the Aqua Allegoria line, because they are kind of lighter, more watered down fragrances, this actually lasts really well on me. This too, I love on really hot days. So if you are in a climate that gets really hot in spring, then I think you're going to like this because it's very refreshing. It's very gingery, but oh man, I love this. If you like ginger, this is a must have. So that is Aqua Allegoria, Ginger Picante, and that is from the house of Guerlain. All right, next, I just have this little teeny bottle of this one, and this is a Flowerbomb flanker, and this is Flowerbomb Nectar. Oh, it's just sweet. So this is a perfect spring gourmand as well. So if you're looking for a gourmand for springtime, this is really good. So this one has a very unique gunpowder note to it. So that's a little something different. But the orange blossom in this really does make it, to me, very springy. It's very sweet. It's got patchouli. It really is a nectar, but with a little bit of depth, a little bit of character. So if you like Flowerbomb, if you like any of the Flowerbomb fragrances, and you're okay with sweet, because this is quite sweet, and you're okay with the gunpowder note, it's just really, it's subtle to me. I mean, just like off the top. But this one lasts a really long time as well. And it's just a really unique, sweet, springy, but with an edge, fragrance. So that is Viktor&Rolf Flowerbomb Nectar. All right, what do I have left here? Ooh, oh, okay, here we go. I have, this is so springy. This is Dolly Parton's Scent from Above. I mean, this is really springy. Again, I'm not saying that the bottle is the entire reason why I'm choosing some of these, but some of them really lend themselves to a springy vibe as far as being on your vanity. So I got this actually, I guess it was around the holidays, and I went through a phase where I was wearing this every day. I love this. So this has pear, peony, lily of the valley. It has a fir note, like F-I-R, like fir tree. It's got jasmine, and it's also a very like creamy fragrance. It has sandalwood, which makes it creamy. I think there's magnolia. And this is supposed to remind, well, this reminded Dolly of her childhood, you know, growing up in the fields and the woods with all the flowers. So it's floral, but again, it has muskiness to it. So it's not a straight up floral. It's creamy. It's a little bit powdery as well. And it's just really pretty. This is a very feminine, for as much as I like my masculine scents, this is very feminine, very pretty. It reminds me of Dolly Parton. By the way, did you see that she asked them to like revoke her nomination for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because she felt like she's not rock and roll enough and they should give it to someone rock and roll? As someone who's like very involved in music and working with bands and things like that, I love that. I love that about her. That was so great. So yeah, Dolly, she's a wonderful woman. So that is Dolly Scent from Above. Here's one that I don't think I've ever talked about on my channel. And this is Shiseido Zen. And Shiseido Zen, it gets compared a lot to Chanel Coco Mademoiselle. But, and I definitely see that. Like it is very similar. But to me, it is much more citrusy. It also has this apple note, which I do get a little bit. It's got freesia, gardenia, hyacinth, violet, amber, musk. So a lot of florals in here. And yeah, if you like Coco Mademoiselle, there's a good chance you would like this, but it's lighter. It's still long lasting. It's not quite as much of a beast though as Coco Mademoiselle. But yeah, a little more citrusy, but definitely has this really nice musky undertone to it and a very cool bottle. So that is Shiseido Zen. Okay. All right. I did a review on this one, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but this is the Too Faced Better Than Sex perfume. And again, it's a citrusy, musky fragrance like a lot of these are. This has passion fruit and lychee in it. You know, it has some peach. It's got rose jasmine, but it is musky as well. It's not a deep musk. It's a lighter musk, a citrusy musk. Now, I don't think this is I don't know if it really matches that name of Better Than Sex. Like, you know, I expected something very kind of darker than this. This is more fun, flirty, and to me, very springtime. Even, I mean, the bottle with the flowers, this is very, very springy. So yeah, if you like citrusy musks with, you know, some florals in there, a little bit of fruitiness, it kind of has everything, a little bit of everything. But again, I think it's balanced pretty well. A little bit of tartness in the beginning from the passion fruit and the lychee. You might like it. So that is Too Faced Better Than Sex. All right. And oh my gosh, I think this is the last one. This is fairly new. This is, oh no, I lied. No, this is second to last one. This is the Gucci Guilty Intense Perfume. So this is, I did a short on this, and this has violet. This is like a violet patchouli. think it has some citrus in it. So some springy floral notes, but again, it has some edge to it. This lasts really long on the skin. Like, this lasted forever on my skin. But if you like that violet note, and you have to like patchouli, there's patchouli in here, I think you will like this one. Definitely check out my short. The only bad thing is, maybe some content creators or people who do YouTube shorts can explain this to me, but I couldn't see a way to pick a thumbnail for my short that I did of this. And it's literally me like that. How do I change that? Because I don't want that to be the thumbnail for the video. It's the worst. It is like the worst possible frame it could have stopped on is what it is. So if anyone has any advice, please let me know. So, but anyway, this is very springy, but yeah, patchouli spring. That is Gucci Guilty Intense Pour Femme. And last but not least, I'm going to go with the fragrance. The review for this fragrance is, strangely enough, my most viewed video on my channel. And I only know this because my son recently asked me, you know, which of your videos has the most views? And I checked, and it's this one, strangely. This is Victoria's Secret Tease Creme Cloud. And I chose this for spring because this has a meringue note. It is very fluffy. So if you want that springtime, like fluffy, musky, cloudy situation, I mean, and I only have this little one here, right? But little roller ball, but it's got some, I think it has ambrette, something like that, but is very fluffy. So if you want that like cottony, fluffy cloud springtime scent, Victoria's Secret Tease Creme Cloud is a good one for that. And hey, it got me a lot of views on a video. So, you know, that's good. Now, as far as the ones that I was going to include that I just somehow could not find, I was going to do Cartier's La Panthère Parfume. That is such a different, unique fragrance. It's, you know, so I do like the regular Panthère, and they have an eau de toilette. There's a few flankers of it, but this is the Perfume, and that has apricot in it, moss, gardenia, patchouli, osmanthus. It's, to me, very springy, but again, a very unusual spring scent. So I would add that in. Also, Ariana Grande, God is a Woman. That's a pear ambrette rose vanilla fragrance that came out kind of toward the end of summer, and I was really you know, if you've been watching my videos and you saw that video, I was like, darn, this really should have come out in the spring. It's very springy to me. So when I find it, I look forward to wearing that in the spring. So those are the two that I was not able to rustle up for you, but you can look them up. You can see what they look like. So, all right, if you've stuck with me, oh my gosh, this is a long video. Bless your hearts, but thank you for sticking with me. And of course, please like this video if you liked it. I hope you enjoyed my different take on spring fragrances. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if there are any other kind of unique springtime fragrances I should be checking out. And thank you so much for your support. If you haven't subscribed already, I would really appreciate it if you did. I think you'll have fun here. I'm trying to bring you some good, unique content, put my own spin on things, and yeah, that's what I aim to do. So hope everyone is doing well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.